Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of the MCFC Lads Podcast. Alex, speaking of 3, we've come third in the Premier League.
We have. Disappointing season, it's all done.
I'm pretty relieved though with it. I'm pretty relieved.
It could have been much worse. It was looking much worse when we got sort of December time.
Yeah, as much as you know, you want to go and win the league every year if you can, but it's not a reality. We won 4 Premier League titles in a row.
Historic.
Stinking it up at part of the season. We had 1 win in 13. Win in 13, and we still, in a bad season, managed to finish 3rd. So, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take Fulham away. Decent little trip out, Alex.
Was a good little trip out. Good win. Well, we thought we needed a win, but we just did not need one.
Everyone in good spirits as well. Spoke to loads of City fans there on the way back.
Very good away end as well, I thought.
And 2-0. Comfortable in the end.
Yeah.
We actually finished, 5 points above the cut-off for Champions League?
5 points in the end, so it's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't need to scam Champions League. I feel like 5th place did scam it a little bit. Chelsea did what they needed to do. They beat, Forest.
And then Newcastle got lucky on the last day. Lost to Everton, but Villa bottled it big time.
Villa blew up, and what's mad is Villa played Newcastle and smacked him as well just before the end of the season. So,
they did.
Yeah, I think it was the game we played against Villa, Nunez last minute, that killed them.
Yeah.
If they'd got that, and Forest missing out by a point, they'll be gutted with that.
But they missed out on the point. Oh, no, they didn't.
Yeah, it was literally a point in the end. So, Liverpool win the league. Their drop-off was a bit mad, actually, after winning it, but they don't need
it's one of them. They were off to IB for every week.
They're not bothered,
fair enough.
Arsenal, 2nd place.
Again.
As
usual.
And, City in 3rd will take it. And then, obviously, the 3 that went down, we knew they were going to go down. Brighton fans out there must be fuming with us. Not only have we handed Crystal Palace a trophy,
their biggest rivals, but
taking Europe away from them.
Europe away from
You'd
them.
be gutted, wouldn't
Forest fans not going to be happy either. They're going to be going off to the Conference League next year, which is great for them. If you'd offered them at the start of the season, they could win it. They'd have taken it. But
here's a question: would they rather be in the Europa League or the Conference League?
Europa League, because they could win the Europa League
and get in the Champions
League. The Europa League is like the quality.
It's not bad though being in the conference because they're going to get some great trips.
Exactly,
they're going to get
and they've not been to Europe in God knows how long. So.
Right. Well, let's get straight into the podcast anyway. Alex, we managed to complete every single game with City this season.
57 out of 57 this season.
Seen a couple of people on Twitter, to be fair, have managed it as well.
Yeah, very
Don't
impressive.
know any of them, to be fair. I didn't.
Really there's a couple of guys in the coach that we vaguely know that we.
Did they do it as well?
I'm pretty sure they have done it. When we saw them, whenever we got the coach last for like Bournemouth away or whatever, they were doing it as well.
Okay.
They were on for
I reckon there's probably about 10 to 20 people that have done it. Fair play to anyone because it has been a slog.
It's a lot.
The commitment from us has been, dare I say it, ridiculous. For some of the games, we think about Lisbon. Oh,
the travelling we've done.
Woke up at 3 a.m. for Lisbon. We had, Dublin we went via.
We went to Dublin, and we got to Lisbon for about 4 p.m. Obviously, ended up in, I can't remember what the bar was called over in Lisbon.
It was decent.
Yeah,
it was good.
And then, day after was the game day. We got back from the game because we got locked in for an hour. We got back at was it 1 a.m. maybe?
Yeah.
And then we obviously...
And his missus is ringing him, right? He's going to sleep. I'm just editing something or sticking something on YouTube. It might have been the vlog or whatever. His missus is ringing him. He's on the phone. He's in the bed next to mine, right? And he comes over and it's like, by the way, Chompy, we got like 1 hour 7 until we need to be up. We had to be up at 2:50. Yeah. What is that? And anyway, we got back again via Barcelona. It was a long. I think I had 8 hours sleep in 3 days.
It was.
And that was crazy. Part of sort of the Deathly 3, I'll call it. Deathly 4, sorry, I'll call it.
Yeah, that was the longest 2 weeks being a City fan possible.
Ever. Literally the longest.
Whoever's done all of those 4 games, fair play.
Yeah, and anyone that's nearly got 57, I'm telling you, they'll be the games they missed because we had Tottenham away, by the way. You've heard the clip last week on the podcast.
Yeah.
Food poisoning in a hospital. Barely dragged myself, limped there. Then
it was Bournemouth.
And we lost all 4 of them.
We obviously lost
all four of them.
Bournemouth was probably the easiest of the lot, given we got my dad to drive us half the way, so that made it a bit easier.
That was scenes. Yeah, that would have been a slot. And then we had Lisbon, and then following that up with Brighton. And
in my opinion, Brighton is the worst game in the league.
Yeah.
Like
it is. We'll come on to this season. We've got some season awards, we'll call them. We'll come on to them in a bit. But every single game. So we had 10 Champions League games, 38 in the Prem, 2 Carabao Cup, 6 in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
We've not got a trophy to show
Charity
for
Shield,
it. Charity Shield, yeah. But yeah, unbelievable. It's been a journey. You'll have seen the clips, the photos we put out. Make sure you check them out on Instagram if you've not already. There's been a lot of love in the comments and stuff as well. We get a bit of hate sometimes. Well, I get a bit of hate sometimes on Twitter and places like that. But all the City fans loving the commitment, and I'm not sure we'll be able to do it again. I'm not sure
it's ever possible, especially given. Yeah. Well, I'm a uni student now, my final year. There's no way you can do 57 out of 57 with a job. You can't just.
It's impossible. It's
going off to Lisbon.
And if anyone has done that, well,
extra fair play.
Yeah, even more fair play.
I don't know how you've managed it.
Yeah, I know people have been in the comments. Last couple episodes have done well. We're going to try and keep this going, like we said. But people were asking how much it costs and stuff. And this guy, unbelievable, by the way. The Champions League games. Realistically, most people pay £500-600 for a Champions League game away. Alex has this mad spreadsheet.
It was crazy.
At the start of the year, he got us booked on all of them, and just like we said, crazy routes there. Yeah, crazy routes.
The crazy thing was, obviously, the draw happens. I think it happens on the Friday, whatever day it is, and we had, I think, 2 days or 1 day before they announced the dates.
Yeah.
And then they announced the dates while we were on the train to West Ham away.
Yeah, Alex was stressing about.
So stressful.
I think you misbooked one plane, which wasn't too bad. It was like £20.
Booking flights for me is just not a phone activity. Like, it's just got to be done. But it had to be done because it saved us a fortune. We ended up spending probably, I could spend about £300 in all 4 games flights.
But yeah, it's been a journey. Me and Alex together have managed to do it.
We have.
So that was there was games that we didn't think we were going to make. Another one was Southampton away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know if we should mention that one, but we're going to mention it anyway. So Alex's missus turned 21.
Yeah.
And it was her 21st birthday. And Alex has been going on about this challenge all year. 57 games.
Not just this year, by the way. It's been since I joined junior.
Yeah, he's wanted to do it and get every game. And getting a ticket for some of the games has been hard.
Yeah.
And then, bang, 21st birthday. Southampton away. It's the furthest game away.
Yeah.
How can he get through that? And he managed to do it. And we both attended the evening of that party, or whatever you want to call it.
We were out.
So, Southampton away, the furthest possible game you could do. And you got stiffed by the fixture list.
Time.
We went on the train, just about made it back again with your dad clutching up when a train got cancelled on the way back. But there's been so many occasions to name that how did we make
like
it?
Crystal Palace as well. Yeah, there was that storm that got the Merseyside derby cancelled.
Yeah.
And we were like, are we going to make this
trains
game?
were cancelled, we're not making this.
We Ubered
Bratislava, I was worse for wear.
I think a few people have heard the stories of Bratislava.
Wasn't good for a combination of reasons. I dragged myself to that game. I wasn't missing it. And it was an unreal experience, to be fair, going to that game before wasn't great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been an unbelievable journey, to be honest. 57 games. Big up to everyone that supports us. The vlogs. There should be a vlog for near enough every game. There was a couple like Southampton. And by the way, we didn't mention it was 0-0. It was 0-0.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't
for all that effort, it was 0-0. Didn't even see a goal.
No.
But yeah, it's been a mad journey. Every single game. And yeah, big up to everyone that's done that. And big up to everyone that has supported us in that journey. Right, so I've pulled up the Premier League table, and I reckon what we're going to do is we're going to grade each team. I don't know if anyone in America or anyone listening to it, they can understand like A-star, surely. Right, we'll explain it. We'll go with like the classic like GCSEs, if you know what we're on about. So A-star's the best.
E's the worst.
E's the worst. Is he the worst? I think
he is the worst.
E's the worst. And we'll just grade each team's season, talk about them. Yeah. Why not? We'll give it 5 minutes. So we'll kick it off with Liverpool. It's an A-star. Yeah. They've won the league.
No one thought they'd win the league at the start of the
first season.
He's done very well.
Consistently very good. Salah was unbelievable until about February, March.
Yeah.
And then he did fall off a bit.
How he's not broken Kev's record, by the way.
Unbelievable. He had 17 assists. He needed 3 to get to 20 to match it, 4 to beat it.
He had 9 games left.
He had 9. Yeah, unbelievable.
He's not done it.
Unbelievable. Arsenal, I'm going to go with B.
I was going to go C, but B's fair.
I think
Champions League semi-final as well.
It shows how far they've come that they're getting a B for second, but come on, you can't be finishing second again.
Yeah.
And the chance will be there. Arsenal finishing second on 74 points. Again, they were consistent for the first half of the season, and then they just fell off.
They just fell off after about March.
When they were doing, but they're doing all right in Europe.
Yeah, but
got to the semi. It's not bad.
Semi-finals, Carabao Cup as well.
I think a B. A B. City, I'm going to go C-.
Yeah, it's a C.
Not a D because we've got
a D, but the third place is if you look back on it 10 years, you're going to say third place. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Chelsea, I'm going to go with A. You might disagree, but I'm going to go with A.
I'd go like a B+ for that.
I'm going to go A because they were for some reason like summer. I know they spent a lot of money, but the way I see it, forget the money for a second, which is hard, but they've got a lot of young players. They have a manager in his debut season in the Premier League. 2 years ago, he was part of the team that won the treble with Pep. He went to Leicester, won the league with Leicester. He's then gone to Chelsea. That's a big step up, and it's hard. And taking over from a lot of managers that just seem to keep disappointing and keep getting chased out of the club. Pochettino, for example, Graham Potter. I think they've done pretty well. 69 points.
Yeah, go on. I'll agree with an A.
I'll go with A. Newcastle, I'm going to go with A star.
It's an A star.
I'm going to go with A star.
And Champions League football for them, they'd have bitten your hand.
If they'd not quite made Champions League, I'd have probably gone A.
Yeah, still. I mean, the cup for them was the big one. First trophy in like 74 years or something, isn't it?
Aston Villa, I'm going to go with I
think a B.
C plus or B minus.
The thing is,
they've become the Arsenal of that like second tier in the table. Though they're just the nearly team. They nearly beat PSG. They nearly got in the Champions League. It sounds harsh, but they needed to beat United. They needed to draw against United.
Yeah, at the start of the season, though, a lot of people wouldn't have had them in the Champions League, given they had the Champions League.
Okay. We'll go. I'm happy with B actually. Yeah. Forest, I'm going to go B minus. And that sounds mental because everyone called them to either go down. I was looking at my predictions for the start of the season. I put Forest in 15th, I think, or 14th. They've massively overperformed for 30 games and then just dropped. Absolutely dive bombed.
I think for me, it's got to be an A solely based on the fact that if you said at the start of the season they get European football.
Well, they were a point off Villa, and a point would have dragged them into Europa League on goal difference. They were basically 2 because of goal difference off getting in the Champions League. Yeah. They should have done it, and it was the game they lost against Leicester. They drew against Leicester, lost against Everton in the last minute. They should. There's no way Forest should have been. I mean, when they beat us, our last loss
was them,
and they were 6 clear of us, and we finished 4 clear of them. So there's a 10-point swing there. We were good towards the end of the season, but
we were.
Brighton, like we've already touched on these, they're very unlucky, I think. Yeah, it's our fault, really.
It should have been a European spot for them, really.
Should have been a European spot, and it's not quite worked out for them. Next season, they'll be a huge European contender because they've got a great squad. They probably will lose a couple of players, but
there's not many players like they have in the past, though, where you think there's no way they're staying next season.
They've just got a good all-round squad. Hinshelwood looks good, I think.
For me, I reckon that's a B season. It's just a solid season for Brighton.
Bournemouth, it's an A. It's got to be an A. They finished 9th in the Premier League. They got to a quarter-final of an FA Cup. They lost Dominic Solanke. Do you know what I mean? They lost, and they're going to get raided now. But I still think it's an A.
Yeah. I think for me it's more... Yeah, go on, I'll go an A. I'd have gone a B, but I'll be persuaded.
Brentford, I'll go B+. Solid. Again, lost Tony.
0 sort of... They didn't float with relegation.
Finished 10th. They've done well, but Brentford finishing 10th in the Premier League. What did they come up 3 seasons ago?
They were up for Europe.
They've steadied themselves, and they've actually finished 31 points above going down.
Yeah,
31 points above going down. They were only a handful of points off getting in Europe.
Yeah,
on another season.
Yeah,
Fulham are the same. I'd go B+.
Yeah,
I see them as slightly better than Brentford.
I think Fulham was a B.
Yeah.
I would have sort of had them in that area at the start of the season.
Yeah. Palace, it's an A-star.
It's an A-star. Trophy
because they finished mid-table. They finished 12th, but they've won the FA Cup.
It's that start of the season. If they hadn't started the season so badly, for them,
if they'd had their end to the season of last year at the start of this season, they'd probably be in Europe. Well, they are in Europe. Well, you know what I mean? They're in the European spots.
They would have been doing what Villa and Forest have done.
Everton, B.
To be, it's just a solid season.
It's solid.
0 relegation.
Dyche was kind of stinking it up a bit, wasn't he?
Moyes done a good job
there. At a point, he was not doing great. And then Moyes has gone
and beating Newcastle on the last day as well.
West Ham, I'm going to go C-. It's disappointing. They're a big club.
I would actually go maybe D for West Ham. At the start of the season, people were
all I'm thinking, though, is that E would be relegation. Or F, would we say F, like fail, relegation. Yeah. So, we'll be getting to some Fs in a minute. I'm going to go West Ham. What did I say?
You said C-.
C-.
For me, it's a D.
It's a D or C-. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Manchester United, F. Complete, utter failure. Complete and utter failure. If they'd won the Europa League, somehow getting a C or B.
Yeah.
United are absolutely terrible, mate. Yeah, 15th in the league.
Enough.
And by the way,
happy with that as well.
They're lucky to be 15th on the final day.
Yeah.
Villa get that stupid red card, and United get 42 points.
And the jammy situation, the jammy goal as well that was just allowed.
And their points total has relegated teams in the past.
Yeah.
42
literally.
Points. Minus 10 goal difference. Somehow, though, we didn't beat them. How is that?
No, that's one of Pep's biggest failings. That and not beating Southampton this year.
Yeah,
it's one of the worst things Pep's ever done for City.
Wolves, I'm going to go B. Mate, they were down. Under O'Neill, they were down, mate, I think.
No, I completely agree, but I would go C on the basis that at the start of the season, if you said they come where they come...
But the way I see it, it's a weird table and they finished 17 points off going down. If I'd said to you, where will 17 points off going down finish, I think you'd have said 12th.
Yeah.
And the new manager...
They've done well. They've won...
Maybe, okay, they had that mad... I mean, I've just looked, right? The new manager came in, he won 6 on the bounce, and he's then had 1 point in 4. I actually called that, and it's not a mental call, but when we beat them, I said they won't win another game.
Yeah, well,
and if you can see that there, that is a crazy run at the end of the season for Wolves, stinking it up. But again, they were more than safe. They were on the beach. Tottenham, it's an A. It's an A season.
It is because of the Europa League. It's gone from an F.
It's either an F to an A. Yeah. It's 17th in the league, utterly shambolic. It's the most losses anyone has ever had in a season without going down. Ever.
That's
22 losses.
Completely crazy.
22 losses. I think they probably won 12 and drew 2, something like that. Or won 11, drew something like that.
But I mean, Ange said at the end of the game, and he was saying it's been an excellent.
Coldest quote of all time. I'll stand by it.
That at the start of the season.
Oh, the scenes,
to
by the way.
go to Tottenham Hotspur and say that and back it up.
Absolute scenes.
Unbelievable aura from that.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, they finished 17th. I think that is a bit of an anomaly because I think they had some major standout performances. They beat us 4-0. We lost to a team against them.
Is it a positive goal difference?
-1. Yeah, the last day swung it negative just. But yeah, I think that is a huge anomaly because also Van der Ven, Romero got injured.
They had that crazy injury crisis.
They had I think in a fair kind of season. I mean, everyone has injuries though, don't they?
Yeah.
In another year, they could have come 8th.
Yeah.
In another year.
But they just focused on European season.
Yeah, they put all their eggs in one basket and it paid off. Didn't pay off for United.
No.
But yeah, Tottenham, 38 points, 38 games, Europa League, winners, Champions League. It's an A. You can't qualify for the Champions League as Tottenham and not be an A. It's mental. They've won a trophy the first time in 17 years. Leicester, I mean, you can't go down on it, B. I think
maybe an E.
Leicester is a D. They finished third bottom.
Yeah.
Vardy's on his last legs. Manager, they sacked Cooper after about 10 games.
That was such a poor call.
Van Nistelrooy, terrible appointment. Then again, they finished the season quite strongly. Vardy's gone. He got his goal to finish him off.
I still think it's an E. I don't think you can...
You think it's an E? Yeah, okay. I don't mind it. Ipswich, it's an E.
It's an E again.
Because everyone... they were saying they might get in Europe. Wild.
I don't remember hearing that.
I genuinely heard Ipswich fans say they might get in Europe or top half, and I was thinking you're going down.
People saying that.
They're in League 1 2 seasons ago. Do you know what I mean? The squad hasn't changed that much.
They'll be strong next year, I imagine, though.
Delap will go.
Did they not spend 100 million in the summer?
Yeah, I don't think
it was poor investment. A lot of it was just young players.
Delap was a good call. That's about it. He's gone in the summer, by the way. And Southampton,
it's an F.
It's an
F. If it wasn't for us, it'd be the worst in Premier League history.
Yeah, it would be a U if it wasn't for
literally.
us. Yeah, because unmarkable.
It couldn't get much worse than
that. So yeah, that's our gradings for the whole Premier League basically. Let us know what you think in the comments, if we've gone wrong, if we've gone right with any of them, and we'll move on to now. We've got some end of season awards.
We do.
Right, Alex, you got these end of the season awards. What we saying, mate?
Yeah, so we'll start off simple with both of our player of the season.
Josko Gvardiol.
I think it's Josko Gvardiol without any debate.
Easy. Consistently there, a lot of goals. I don't think there's been any other performer. He's on the team sheet every week.
Yeah,
every game
he's there. He had a bad patch when we had that horrendous run, but I mean, everyone did, so you can't really single him out for that. And he's reliable as well.
He's so young still as well. He's so young still. I think
played left back and centre back
comfortably
as well.
Our standout performer. I think if there is one, if you've got to give a player of the season, we're going to go Gvardiol.
Yeah, I think.
And I think he's been pivotal as well in this good run we've had at the end of the year.
Yeah, him at centre back with Diaz has been such a good partnership.
Unbelievable.
So that was quite easy. We'll move on then to our surprise player of the season.
Surprise player.
Who sort of caught you off guard, that's performed better than
you. Know what? I feel like I can't really give it. I want to say Nunes.
In my head, I've got Nunes. He gets hated.
Have you got Nunes as well?
I was thinking Nunes solely because the amount of positions he's played,
and he gets mad hate. But it's the derby that does it for me. That mistake.
That is true. The derby mistake was borderline unforgivable.
And he just makes quite a lot of rash
decisions.
But he's like you said, he's played. He was very decent in purple patch
on the left wing.
On the left wing. He's not been playing his natural position. He's played right back. He's filled in. We needed someone to play right back after Walker's departure. I'm going to just about go Nunes. Who else could he go?
Yeah.
Who else could he go? O'Reilly.
O'Reilly's a good shout, actually, given how good he's been.
But we didn't win the FA Cup. He has been unbelievable, and I know that isn't down to him, but feel like
most of his
contribution was in the FA Cup. I know Everton away in the league, but yeah, I'm going to go just about Núñez.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying like he's been unbelievably good, but if you've got to give it someone,
and I think everyone would be alright if he stayed next season now.
Yeah, I was speaking to people that didn't like him as well, and I'm happy with him staying. Definitely, he's a great utility player. You need one of them.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on now to our goal of the season. There's a few different things that this could be. I'm straight away thinking that Marmoush goal.
I'm struggling to go away from that just because it was so good.
Yeah. Going back to Gvardiol, he obviously scored that
at
absolute
Wolves.
screamer at
I know.
Wolves as well.
I would like to give it
as well.
I would like to give it Gvardiol.
But is there a better goal than Marmoush's?
Is there a better goal than Marmoush? I don't think there is. I wish I could. Gvardiol's goal away at Wolves was outrageous, but it takes a slight nick, I think.
Yeah. Marmoush's is just like the movement on it. It literally could not have been more top corner if he tried.
Yeah, definitely got to be Marmoush's. That got to be.
We're then going to move on to our game of the season.
I'll let you go first on this one.
It's a tricky one. There's a couple of things. So you've got Forest in the FA Cup semi-final. That was a good game.
Yeah.
What other games have we won big time? Ipswich earlier in the season is 6-0.
Yeah. Well, you go on. What are you going with, and I'll give you mine.
That 4-0 win against Newcastle. Because we had been in such bad form going into it, and then we just lost to Madrid in the week, I'm pretty sure. And then out of nowhere, we just slammed them.
Actually gave us enough confidence to think we could go to the Bernabéu.
Well, and that was wrong confidence to have. What about you? What game are you going for?
I'm going to go game of the season, Arsenal at home. 2-2. Think right back. Rodri did his ACL, so that takes 10 points off it. But
that was the moment our season crumbled.
Yeah,
basically.
But when you think about that game, we went into that, we thought this is the two teams that are going for the league title. Yeah. I think everyone did. Sky, everyone had dubbed it as that. And Arsenal, we go 1-0 up Haaland. Yeah. Arsenal score.
We were so good at the start, by the way.
Arsenal score 2 goals, one off a corner, one wonder goal, I think, from Calafiori.
Which, by the way, shouldn't have happened because Walker got dragged out.
Yeah, that was criminal. But, yeah, if you think we're 2-1 down, Arsenal get the red, go down to 10 just before half-time. And I was thinking, we're done here. They frustrated us so much. I was absolutely gutted. There's actually 2 Arsenal fans sat behind me, frustrating me. Wow. Somehow I'd got home tickets. And the absolute limbs and the let-off when John Stones scored. When we won 2-2, yeah. We're keeping that in. Yeah. When we won 2-2 against Arsenal. No, it did feel like... I know it wasn't a win, and it doesn't really matter now at all. Yeah. But just to lose that to Arsenal would have been an even bigger dagger than the Rodri.
They've not won the Etihad in so many... Probably 10 years or
and then they did smoke us at the Emirates. But we won't talk about that until we do worst game of the season, which is that game. Nah, it's not my worst game. It's not my worst game. United 2-1.
Yeah, for me it's United as well. It does not get worse than 1-0 up, 5 minutes to go against the worst United team of our lives. And I mean, we said about Núñez there. I don't know what he's thinking doing it. He makes 2 mistakes, gives the ball away, and then he makes the foul.
You know what? I'm actually going to do top 5 worst games of Manchester City season. There's that many. We finished 3rd. I can't be that disappointed, but we've got to do a segment on the worst games of the season. Coming in at number 5, I'm going to go Sporting 4, Manchester City 1. It's terrible.
I mean, especially when you link it to the journey we had as well. That was terrible, yeah.
8 hours sleep in 3 days.
Locked in at the end.
Oh, dear me. Terrible
Haaland
scenes.
missed penalty as well.
Yeah, terrible scenes. Coming in at number 4, I'm going to go with...
Real Madrid.
No.
Away.
No, coming in at number 4. You know what? Real Madrid away, I'm not going to include. Coming in at number 4, Arsenal away, 5-1 loss.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely in the top 5.
Yeah, because it was just shocking. The Real Madrid one, is Real Madrid. So, and it was a terrible performance, but Arsenal is number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 3.
Oh.
Horrific. The reason we got knocked out by Real Madrid in the Champions League was because of this game. We majorly bottled it from 3-0 up. Horrendous feeling after this game. Absolutely horrendous. Number 2 is City 0, Tottenham 4. Oh, God.
The way we went into that with the confidence, because Rodri just won the Ballon d'Or, Pep had extended, and we were both just
we're going to smoke it.
Because we just come off the back of the 4 games as well. It was the international break.
Just come off the back, 4 losses in a row, a deathly run of 4 away games, and we play against Tottenham and got battered.
Completely battered.
No.
And deservedly beaten.
And they finished 17th. And then the game after that, after 5 losses in a row, was Feyenoord, and then Liverpool after that. That final game, getting a point, actually saved us. from losing 7 in a row. So
that
we'll take
That
it.
would have been so bad.
Number 1, by far, there's a huge gap for me between number 2 and number 1, and it's losing 2-1 to Manchester United.
So bad.
It is the worst United team of our lifetimes. It's the worst United team of the last 50 years.
How did we let them win?
They finished 50th. Well, we might as well have finished 50th. They finished 15th in the league, and they lost to Tottenham in the final of the Europa League. And United did a number on us. They scored 2 goals in the last minute. And
our only goal against that United team this season was a corner.
A season to forget in some ways. The start of the season was good. The end of the season good. The middle was a big pile of basically covered in more.
And then after that negative note, we're going to end on our favourite away game of the season. Best away day. So based on atmosphere, based on just...
Best away day.
Trip.
Best away day. Oh, away day or away game. Or what we say. Are we going to do both? Or
we can do both. Away end, for me, the best away end this season, I'm thinking Leicester early on.
Yeah.
Fulham was actually very good on Sunday. But I'm not sure it quite gets
I think the best away day, Real Madrid. We flew in
yeah.
with Louis to
Alicante.
Had a mad night out in Alicante.
Yeah.
We just randomly bumped into a load of City fans. It was limbs. Then we had a mad night out in Madrid the next day as well.
Yeah,
we were singing Have You Ever Won the Treble for... Well, I personally was singing it for about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
you probably only did 18 minutes, you fraud.
Through the streets of Madrid.
I didn't have a voice the next day. Unbelievable away day, and the actual game was woeful.
Yeah.
But
with the
away day, yeah. A game. We beat Ipswich 6-0.
Yeah. Beat Wolves in injury time, that was pretty crap until
Sterling
scored. Chelsea at the start of the season was a good one.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Chelsea 2-0. Cucurella got bodied by Haaland.
I might go Chelsea.
Yeah,
actually.
I'll give you that.
Started the season off well.
And that's a massive win. That's probably the reason we got the Champions League borderline.
It was.
Chelsea away, I'll go.
Right, so now we're going to move on to the quiz. We've done 2 so far, 1 for me, 1 for Luke. My score last week, not so good. I got 2. So you're winning at the moment.
3-2 up. Need to try and strengthen that.
I've made the quiz today for Luke. Join along at home. Hopefully you'll have time to answer before Luke gets in. If not, just maybe pause it after I say the question. The theme of this week's quiz is all based on this season. So the season's done. I'm going to start with question 1. How many points did we finish behind the champions Liverpool this season?
Ooh, right. So Liverpool had 84 and we had 71. Yes, so we finished 13 points behind Liverpool.
That's correct.
1
for 1 so far. Moving on to the second question. How many goals have we scored this season in all competitions? You get 10 either way.
10 either way?
That's quite generous.
Pretty kind of you, actually, that one, Alex. I think in the Premier League, I'm going to go with...
No, it's all competitions.
Yeah, no, I'm going to add it up. I'm going to say in the Premier League, I think we scored around 70. I'm not going to go and add it up. I think we probably got about 70 because we conceded a lot. I think we got about 70 goals. The League Cup we'll have had 3. FA Cup. I mean, I could go through and add it up when that's not the game.
Yeah.
I think in the FA Cup we probably scored 10 goals. Oh no, we got 8 though against Salford. I forgot about that. We got 15 in the FA Cup. Right, I'll go. So I'll call the domestic cups. I'll say 20. I'll say 70 for the league, and I'll say in the Champions League we got 15. Community Shield. Yeah, I'm gonna say we got. You know what? Just for banter's sake, 115 goals.
It's 114.
That's sick, to be fair.
So he does get the point. He's on 2 for 2. It's a good start.
Brilliant.
Next question. Erling Haaland was our top goal scorer this season. In the Premier League, how many goals did he score?
22.
He's got it again.
I knew it was 21 for ages, then he got the pen on the final day. I thought you were going to say all comps and I'd have been finished if you'd said all comps. Because I'd have been... Do you have that stat or not?
No,
you fraud. Absolute fraud, guys. 3 for 3.
Right then, moving on to the fourth question. City played 10 matches in London this season. How many did we win?
Oh, no. What counts as London, though? I suppose if it's 10, then... Right, so what you're trying to do is trip me up on Leyton Orient, aren't you, mate? I think that's... that in the back. I can see his heart sinking. I think he was thinking I was going to remember Leyton Orient. So we beat Leyton Orient, Chelsea, Fulham. Didn't beat Brentford. We did beat West Ham. lost to Arsenal, beat Tottenham 5. We didn't beat United. I'm thinking 5, guys, but I'm not going to say it. I'm thinking 5, but I'm just going to say 6 because I've definitely forgotten one.
It's 6.
Yes! 4 for 4. 4 in a row, mate. I've done it. Wow.
We are in on the most difficult question.
Wait, hang on, which one did I forget then, though? So it was Fulham, Leyton Orient, West Ham, Chelsea. Oh, wait, do Wembley games count?
Yeah, both on.
Oh, that's so lucky. That is so lucky. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's jam. Oh, well.
Right, so this season, to the nearest 1,000, how many miles have City travelled this year?
Well, you know what?
We're essentially saying from the Etihad to each stadium across the season, how many times?
To the nearest 1,000, that is harsh. I'm going to go 15,000.
He ends on 4 for 5. 18,000 miles this season.
You know what? I did some really, really, really quick maths in my head for that reel I put out. If you've seen the little clip about all the games, and I guessed 20k is the answer, and I mentioned 20,000 miles, and for us it will be 20,000 miles because of all the exactly. But I just did Manchester to location for like all these locations.
Yeah.
I was never going to get that. I was either going to say 20 or 15. And I saw a guy on Twitter said 15, so whoever you are, you're a fraud.
Yeah,
what a fraud. Or you just live in the ocean somewhere. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
I'll take that. Puts me on 7.
7 total.
Meaning you need a
5 for 5
full house
equalise.
next week to equalise. Wow. 7-2 to Luke. Big.
Right then, so moving on to community questions next. We've got your comments in from last week.
Oh, yeah. So if you're on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you are, just put community question and put your question in the comments.
We're going to try and...
We'll just put the question in. We'll try and read them. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, for starters, please leave a like. Please leave a comment anyway with what you think or if you disagree, agree with anything. Just because it boosts the algorithm. And share this podcast where you can. We're going to try and keep it going like we said. And yeah, any support's appreciated. Also, on Spotify, drop us a follow. I think we've got about 100 followers on there, which is a good start.
Yeah.
We're getting some good plays on there. But yeah, anyone listening on either platform, any support is appreciated. So yeah, big up to everyone that has done that so far.
So the first community question comes from Come On City 1. And he says, with KDB leaving and City not getting Verts, would City try and get Gibbs White or another good cam or stay with Foden Echeverry? I'll be in America for the Club World Cup. Come on, City.
Oh, right. Decent. Yeah, we'll touch on the Club World Cup in...
2 weeks, I think.
In 2 weeks, yeah. By the way, before we head into that, I'm not sure whether there'll be a podcast next week because we're not sure what there is to talk about.
Yeah, right now.
It's a bit of a weird bit. The season's over. We're doing a massive, big, long video today, or podcast today. I'm not sure whether a video next week would just be boring. Yeah. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to make it boring.
So we might save it for 2
weeks. We might go 1 week off, back in for the Club World Cup, and then when we're in America for the Club World Cup, we'll be bringing you some stuff from there. Actually, we'll try and get a little podcast out there, or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, community. So yeah, what was the question again?
So we're not getting Verts. Would City try and get Gibbs White or a different attack midfielder?
I think we definitely
or just stick with Foden and Echeverry?
I think
it's almost certain. We've got to sign someone.
Yeah, we've got to get someone.
I think most likely will be Gibbs White, and then we've obviously got other midfielders like Rangers.
MGW. I like him, to be fair.
Yeah.
I watched him, so I watched Morgan Gibbs White. I was at Sheffield Uni, and I watched him play in a playoff game against Forest, and I thought it was a joke at the time. And I googled him, and I was like, oh, he's on loan from Wolves. And he went back to Wolves. Sheffield United missed out on penalties to that exact Forest team, and Forest just took him away straight away. They knew they were watching the same game. Well, they were in the same game. So, yeah, they took him, and he's been unbelievable this season. So I'd love to get Morgan Gibbs White. A lot of people are hating on him, but 60 million, I don't think you can go wrong. Premier League proven player.
Not too bad. And homegrown as well.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next one. This is from Lolbeck. Do you think we can play with 2 number 8s next season with Rodri in the 6?
Potentially.
Yeah, I think realistically we'll have an attacking midfielder in there. It won't be too sort of deep players. Our issue is breaking down teams that just sit back. So we need creative players in there. Ultimately, that's what we have to sign this summer, players that will break a team down. And by the looks of it, City going in the market to do that. Right, so we move on to the final community question now, and it's from Theon, and they say, what's the best and worst City kit of all time?
Well, for starters, I've got the new kit on. bang
not bad,
average.
yeah.
I think it's bang average. I think it's
You said
decent.
it last week. It's just okay.
It's okay.
It does the job.
Best kit. Best
For
kit
me, it's
of
the
all time. Treble shirt.
For me, it's the treble one.
It's a good shirt. It's a solid 9.8 out of 10. No, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. A lot of people talk about the Gillingham 99 kit. I think if we'd lost that, like I said last week, a kit is only a good kit if you do well in the kit.
Yeah,
you're never going to go, oh, that was an amazing kit when you finished third. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like the away kit this year had potential to be an unbelievable kit. It's a remake of the Gillingham kit.
Yeah, and it's just like no
one's going to care about it.
We were so bad, and I swear we went off phase. We just didn't win it.
Yeah. So, but I know what the worst kit of City's history is.
For me, it's the 1921, the purple one.
Wrong, mate. It's the third kit, 2021-22.
Oh, it's that horrible white one, the paisley one.
No. Wait, what year? Hang on. Wait.
Sorry, which year did you say?
Yeah, 2021-22. It is definitely that year. It doesn't even have a City badge on. It says Man City in the middle of it.
You are right.
Navy.
That is the worst.
And we also were rubbish in that kit. That's where we bottled in that kit against Real Madrid away. That's the worst kit in City's history.
Yeah, no, that was such a bad kit. How you can have a football kit
without
the club's badge on it
is unbelievable.
Well, it wasn't. We're not even called Man City.
Yeah.
It's not even on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Made no sense. Awful kit.
Purely for commercial. Yeah.
So we agree, and that's the worst one. Treble's the best one.
Treble the best kit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd say it's the best kit because one, it's going to be the most iconic, and two, it's a really nice kit.
Yeah.
And it's the Colin Bell inspired one. In terms of actually the nicest looking ones, I quite like that 2014-15 away kit. That like cold kit. It's cold, mate.
I can't think of what it. It's the one that's like faded navy and black.
Yeah, it's got like a blue moon on it, kind of.
I feel like I remember David Silva scoring Upton Park in it.
Yeah, you're right. But that's that. I mean, I don't even have that kit actually. I do in like a 10-year-old's kit size, but yeah. We'll leave it on that. Big episode.
Yeah, big episode. Good pod.
Like we said, any support's much appreciated. Show us a bit of love if you can, and big up to everyone. We've actually had people come and say they've listened and watched at the games, so it's good to hear. We'll keep it going, obviously. Like we said, not going to be one next week. There'll be loads of clips out. We're just going to have a week off, aren't we? To be fair,
like we said, not much to speak about, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, and then we'll be back with a little Club World Cup preview. If you want to see, I don't know whether to do a bit of a vlog for like getting to the Club World Cup kind of thing.
Yeah, we could.
Don't know if you want to see it or not.
There'll definitely be stuff on TikTok.
There'll be loads of content. So drop us a follow on like the other socials and stuff if you've not seen it. Links will be in the description. And big up to everyone for listening. Nothing next week, and we'll be back for the Club World Cup preview, and then loads of stuff in America. It's gonna be exciting. Up the Blues.
Up the Blues.